Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Oh, my sisters, yeah. Is the lighting... It's really bright, I think. I'm not sure. I just put the ring light at a setting I think is good. But hi everyone, this is Anne, and I know it's been quite a while since I uploaded on this channel. I think it's been a lot of months because I'm mostly uploading on my ASMR channel and on my Anne channel, but mostly on my ASMR channel because I'm self-employed and I have several stores now, so my life has just gotten way more busy. And as you know, I'm pregnant. I am 31 weeks pregnant now. I'm getting very close to giving birth. So things are gonna get a whole lot busier. So as you probably know already, a lot of people have been making these videos about why I am no longer vegan, and it's pretty prominent YouTubers who often have a lot of subscribers. And instead of making video responses to them, I wanted to just make a video on why I am still vegan after 13 years, because I do not have any of the issues that they have, and for me veganism has just been really, really good. And even now my pregnancy is going perfect and my blood tests are perfect, and I just wanted to share kind of what I eat, what I do when I felt shittest and what I was doing wrong, and why I am still vegan after 13 years and why I will always be vegan unless there's some weird health thing that would 100% show me you need to eat like fish or something like that, you know, if it's like definitive, like you only that solution will work, but that's not gonna happen. Like I never heard of such a thing. So anyway, I went vegan for the animals. So I've been an ethical vegan all my life. For me, it just took words. Someone in my class said, oh, animals, they, you know, you don't have to eat them to be healthy. You don't have to eat them to stay alive and be healthy. And I was like, you know, I always thought, like we never talked about it in my family, and I always thought you need meat, you need dairy to be healthy and to, you know, to live a good life. And that's what I've always been taught, and I never second guessed it, you know, it's your lifestyle, you just do it. It's eating is such a simple thing, and you just do what your parents teach you and whatever. And as soon as I knew that, I stopped eating it. I stopped eating animals, and that was that, because I don't see why I should eat another living being who feel when I don't need to. I found that so weird. So basically, I never needed documentaries like Earthlings. I don't need to remind myself with horrible footage to stay vegan. I don't need gurus on YouTube who are vegan so I can follow them, so I can have someone, you know, yeah, to follow. And like, I see a lot of people falling off the vegan, I'm not going to call it a bandwagon, just falling off of veganism because someone they followed for such a long time has stopped being vegan, and then they're like, oh my god, oh, and then they also stop being vegan. I'm like, you have to be strong in yourself. You have to be convinced and convicted within yourself and not depend on other people to make your choices for you. Veganism is something very healthy. Well, it can be very healthy. You can also eat a shit vegan diet, just like you can eat a shit omnivore diet. Okay, you can do shit for your health or do good for your health on all kinds of diets. It's just about knowing what's healthy and how to feed yourself and how to deal with health issues if you have them, like the people who have bowel issues and stuff like that. Anyway, I went vegan. I have to make a disclaimer in the beginning that years ago, it's more than 4 years ago, that we had pet chickens at home, and we had them for years. And I made a video about this when I said that why I think sometimes eating eggs was vegan, because we had pet chickens, and I think that video is still on my channel, so you can look it up if you want to. I had their egg in a dish, like mixed into a dish, like maybe once a year or something, because I never craved eggs or anything like that. But our chickens, they just let them rot basically, and they didn't get broody all the time. When they got broody and when they started laying on the eggs to try and hatch them, we did let them like lay on the eggs, so maybe a baby chicken would come out, but it never did. So I thought our rooster was like impotent or something, but he did manage to make one baby eventually. So he was not really impotent, but he wasn't that great at fertilizing eggs or something, because when the hens were broody and they were on the eggs for days and sometimes weeks, nothing would happen, and the eggs, and then they would get off the eggs, and the eggs would just be, you know, they would be bad. We had to throw them away, and sometimes they just left them there. So sometimes that's why I thought Okay, so if people would eat those eggs that are left to rot, well, of course, you shouldn't wait until they're rotten to eat them. That's fucking disgusting. Sparrow would probably do something like that. But anyway, I thought if I take that egg, else it's gonna lay there to rot. Like, we often fed it back to them because it's good for their bones, and they lose minerals when they lay the eggs. But eventually you have so many, so I thought, why is it a problem if I'd use one of that egg and put it in a dish, for example? But I did that very, very rarely. So I was never someone who craved eggs, who craved meat, who craved dairy, never. And I also didn't feel any different when I ate that egg in a meal. I felt absolutely the same, because some people are like, oh my God, I ate this egg, and immediately my symptoms went away. If you have real symptoms, they're not gonna go away just by eating an egg or something, okay? You can't even call eggs healthy. What is it, the American Diet Association or whatever, the FDA or something says that people who sell eggs can't even call them healthy because it's fraudulent. It's like wrong to say that. So you can't even put that on packaging because they're not. So anyway, had to put that disclaimer because some people who have been following me for a long while noticed that I ate that egg. They know that I did that, so they might say, oh, you haven't been vegan for 13 years. Well, if you eat an egg like once, like in a year, an egg, like that was 5 years ago that I did that or something. It's not going to change anything. Okay, it's not going to change anything about your health. My blood test was exactly the same afterwards. And it didn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. So yeah, if you're gonna consistently eat eggs like every week, every month, yeah, okay, then it might do something, probably to your cholesterol or something. So that was 5 years ago, the last time I ate an egg from my own chickens, I think, or 5 years ago, I think. So that's it. So in the beginning, I was just replacing meat and dairy by vegan products. Very simple, very easy to do, and I was always healthy. There was a time when I started, I found Freely Endurance Rider and the whole fruitarian diet, which I tried for a while to be completely raw and eat mostly fruits. But in a country like Belgium, you find a lot of shit fruits, and I'm not really a big fan of bananas, so it was hard for me to get a lot of calories. And at a certain point, I was like, I had to bike. Sorry, it's warm. I'm just gonna take off my sweater because it's super warm in here. And basically, I know these straps are big, but it's like the breastfeeding bra I'm already wearing because it's comfortable. So basically, at a certain point, I had to drive on my bike. Almost 2 hours a day to my education back then, and I was also trying to eat like that, and I was not eating enough. I was eating like 1,500 calories a day. It wasn't enough. I lost a lot of weight then. I also started to get digestive issues, like a lot of bloating and farting and diarrhea, because I was like making these smoothies and then putting broccoli in the smoothie and just insane shit like that. Just way too much fiber, I think, in one day. And then I started getting stomach pain, and once, I think it was quinoa what did that, and I was like, okay, I'm never eating quinoa again, even though that's not even raw, but I wasn't eating completely raw, of course. And I lost a lot of weight, and then I lost my periods for 6 months. That was basically just stupidity from my point. I was just doing a ridiculous, stupid diet to myself. And thankfully that didn't last for long, and then I stopped, and then I gradually started eating more whole foods, of course, a lot more cooked food, and I've always done really well on that. And when I met my partner now, who I'm with and who we have a baby on the way, I also incorporated more like mock meats or just more junky foods actually, and relaxing on my diet. And this has been the best for me. Like, I feel the best like that. I eat mostly healthy, but I also have some junky things. And for me, this has been perfect for my health. Like, even when I was doing the shit diet, I still had really good blood tests. So I've always had really good blood tests. I don't think I've ever had, well, I had low vitamin D, which my entire family has basically. But this summer I actually went outside way more and my vitamin D was normal. So yeah, sunshine is really important for that because supplementation could never really raise it seems, as well as the sun could. So yeah, the warm summer has been good for that. Because as you know, I'm pregnant and I'm 31 weeks pregnant. And I went to the doctor, and she's a normal doctor in a hospital. She's not a vegan, she's not anything, she's not a homeopath or anything like that. She's just a standard gynecologist, doctor. She does deliveries, etc. She does surgery. And I told her I was vegan. She didn't think much about it. She says, "Oh yeah, we'll check your blood." She says a lot of women actually need B12 injections during pregnancy. A lot of non-vegan women. So if you have that, we'll just give you some injections. I was like, okay. So they took my blood. And I was kind of worried because I had morning sickness the first weeks, like months of my pregnancy. A lot of women have this. And morning sickness is not just in the morning. It's like basically all day for many women, including myself. So at a certain point, I was surviving on muesli. I was surviving on dry toast. And a lot of smells, like meat smells and even vegan burger smells and vegan meat smells, it all disgusted me. So it was hard to eat, and I lost weight also. I was like, I'm definitely gonna be deficient in iron. I'm definitely going to be deficient in some things. Like I looked really like drained in my face, but that was just because I was losing weight and I couldn't keep much food. Like I felt sick, yucky all the time. But she took my blood and everything was fine. And I was like, are you sure? She was like, yes. And I said, even vitamin D? And she was like, yes, even vitamin D. And I was like, wow, okay, that's epic. So basically my blood tests were completely fine. And now I get a checkup every month. I get blood tests, I get complete checkups. And everything is always completely fine. I haven't had to take anything or get anything injected. What else did I check for? Of course, blood pressure and just other things. Like every time I'm at the like the doctor, she asked me how I'm doing. I'm like doing really good. I have no complaints. I have a pretty perfect pregnancy. Things are going really well. The only thing I had was the morning sickness in the beginning, but now I'm 31 weeks pregnant and everything is going really, really well. And the baby also, she's growing perfectly. She was always perfectly on the average of growth, but the last time she was a little over, like a week over in her legs and her skull circumference, because that's genetic. I have a large skull circumference, my boyfriend has it, my brother has it. I have long legs, so I think the baby's gonna have long legs like myself. So yeah, I kind of expected that, so kind of worried about pushing out a big head, but whatever, we'll see how that goes. So yeah, for the rest, things are going really well. I don't have back pain or any of that pain or issues sleeping. Even when she kicks me all the time, and I don't really wake up from. I thought I'm pretty light sleeper, and it doesn't even wake me up when she's kicking in the night. Only when I have to go to pee, and then I notice she's kicking when I have to go urgently to the bathroom. But that's pretty much it. So for me, I don't know, I have never had issues with veganism. And when I look into my family and how they're doing, and I see their high blood pressure, their blood clots that they had, heart disease, someone who's close to diabetes, I see so many health issues with people who consume the standard Belgian diet, which is basically homemade foods, but adding dairy, meat, also some junk, processed meats and stuff like that. They all have health issues, and their cholesterol is going up, and then they start getting issues. The women, luckily my family live a long time, but the men, not so good for the men in my family. So and then you look at myself, and my blood tests are always great. I never have health issues. I've been sick I think twice in 13 years. Once I went to when I first went to my partner, he's from Denmark, so I went to Denmark, and then I got a cold. I think the new country, going to the airport and the bacteria, and then I got like a cold. And then another time last year when I had like my root of my tooth was inflamed, and it hurted so much, like I couldn't lay down, I couldn't like sit. It was incredibly painful for days. And my immune system was down. I couldn't eat much. I couldn't sleep. I felt weak. And then my boyfriend caught the flu because other people around him had the flu also, and we just traveled, also been to the airport and everything. And I didn't have it when he got it, but of course I sleep next to him and I was taking care of him and I still give him kisses. So I then got the flu also, but it wasn't really bad. It was like, it's the flu, high fever, and you lay in bed and stuff. But for the rest, it was, my body was like healing from it perfectly. But that's, I think, the only thing that I've had. But I can't remember anything else. So basically now also I'm pregnant now. So I did get the flu shot because I was not gonna risk having the flu now while I'm pregnant. And people around me, my family, has been getting sick. Mostly like, I think, colds and like they're coughing and stuff like that. And I haven't had it. I have not caught anything. Neither did my boyfriend, thank God. We also been to a lot of cities. We've been going around to the mall a lot, and we have been to the airport, of course. We had to go to his parents for Christmas and stuff like that. So I've been around huge groups of people, but I have not caught anything. So I also have no like bad effects or whatever to my immune system. I have nothing bad to my blood. I have nothing bad to my energy levels. Even now, being like 31 weeks pregnant, I feel great. I don't feel tired. I don't feel drained. I don't know. Everything is just going really well. And my doctor also says that, you're doing really well, she says. And that's just a standard medical professional. Like, she's not a vegan or anything. So yeah, I'm still a vegan after 13 years. And that's just the way it's gonna be. And I'm not strict on my diet. I can give you a little example of what I eat. This video is getting long as fuck. Holy shit. Okay. So basically, like in the morning, now when I'm pregnant, I do not eat the same things as I used to because often I just don't feel like it that much. And I might one day get like, I make homemade bread in the bread machine often, and I take that with some vegan cheese on it, tomatoes, lettuce, and then I eat some soy yogurt with it, some apples, or another time I can make oatmeal with soy milk, or flax seeds, blueberries. Eat a lot of blueberries. I'm addicted to blueberries. Pomelo. Then for lunch I can make like tomato soup with potato in it, and like it's vermicelli, like these small little pasta chunks. Sometimes I dip bread in it. Snacks, rice crackers with peanut butter, peanuts. Sometimes I have these chips, vegan chips. Fruit. I love fruit, of course. I eat fruit every day. What else? Chocolate sometimes. And then for dinner, I can make an oven dish or wok dish. Just stuff like that, I'm not like overly strict or everything has to be raw or everything has to be this and that. And that has kept me good for always. So yeah, I don't know what else I can say. Just that I do notice a trend with a lot of people who are not vegan anymore, that they often come from very strict diets. According to myself, I think they come from very strict diets. They often come from absurd diets, like just fruits or just like a lot of sugar. Like I saw Bonnie Rebecca, for example. She made this like like this cereal, and then she poured stuff on there. It was like like a heap of just a sugar meal to me. Like I don't know, wouldn't be appetizing to me. But they did the Durum Rider and Freely thing for a long time also. And then they came from gut issues, which I think you really need professional help. And like Goji Man offers like the SIBO tests and everything. Especially if you're an ethical vegan, I definitely would first do that and go that route and have him help me. Because he has helped people and he has helped himself through it, like effectively. So that's definitely something I would first do. And I also noticed like a lot of people doing these crazy diets and just hopping from this to that. And sometimes it's like a little bit sad to read their followers from like, oh, they get discouraged, when their idol is not vegan anymore. But they just have to be strong within themselves and don't do this for someone else. If you do something for someone else and they don't do it anymore, yeah, okay. Don't let them determine your own choices. You're your own person. You can make your own choices. You should be know why you're doing something, and know that some people, they don't go vegan anymore and they Usually they keep being sick even, or they heal temporarily and then they get sick again. But these are just some individuals. Like a lot of other people are vegan long term and super healthy and doing super well. And a lot of omnivores or carnivores long term are sick. And you can find examples of anything. And it just seems like, oh my God, all these people are not being vegan anymore. But that's not true. It's just those prominent figures on YouTube. And for each of them, there's like 10 more who are healthy. And for who it is like something that's good for their health and good in their life. And a lot of people bring up that, a lot of people quit being vegan. But that's often not because of their health. Sometimes they have no education. They don't know how to feed themselves. They eaten a lot of meat and dairy and then they don't replace it. Like they go vegan and they eat a shitty vegan diet basically, and there needs to be more education on it. When you have been educated in a certain way of eating from your parents and everything over generations, and then you have to switch, often people need a little bit of education because it's not normal for them. Like they've been in a way of eating their entire life and they're so used to it, and suddenly you have to switch all of that, often in one go. And not all people can do that. So you have to be realistic with yourself. Then there is people who just the convenience of it. Some people live in areas where there's not a lot of convenient food that's vegan. A lot of people still want to eat convenient food, fast food, meals they can just grab out of the supermarket, eat really quickly. And that's not yet available in the same way that omnivorous food is. So some people use that as an excuse to not be vegan anymore because it's just too hard. That's why a lot of vegans quit. When I have asked some people online why they quit, they said, it's too hard, or like it's too hard socially, people disapproving of them. And I still have this in my family, like every single time people bug me about it or whatever, but it's their problem. So that is a big factor in why people are quitting. So yeah, that's my video. So people who want to see my huge gut now, I've gained the minimum I need to gain for my pregnancy. And this is my baby Billy. She's in here, causing. So yeah. For the rest, this is size 38 jeans that I wore since the beginning, and for the rest I'm still the same size, but it's just my gut is growing and my boobs are growing a bit also, because the baby's gonna have a boobies milk. So yeah, that's it. I'm still vegan. If you have questions, if you have comments, anything, leave them in the comment section. And if you want more updates on my pregnancy or whatever, you can follow my aunt channel. If you like ASMR, you can follow my ASMR channel. If you want to visit my stores, my new stores are not yet. They are online, but I'm not promoting them yet because I'm still building them up. So I will show those later. But the stores that I already have and are functional will be in the description. So I will see you next time. Bye.